Hello and welcome to Hedgewitch Hearthcraft. I'm Caitlin Rhiannon. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the week ahead. I'm going to be using tarot cards and oracle cards to get an idea of the energy for the week of July 19th to 25th, 2020, and how we can best navigate throughout or within those energies. So I'm going to be pulling 2 cards for every sun sign of the zodiac. The first card will be from the mini Pagan tarot, and that'll give us an idea of what we're going to be dealing with this week. The second card will be from the Heart of Faerie Oracle, and that'll give us an idea of how to deal with the week. So you can follow along with the whole video, or you can skip ahead to the cards that are pulled for your sun sign. If you do skip ahead, make sure you also skip to the very end, because I'm going to be pulling a universal manifestation card for everyone. So make sure that you jump to the end to get a little bit of that extra goodness in your life for this week. So since it is Cancer season, let's go ahead and get started with our lovely Cancers. Cancer, your tarot card for the week of July 19th to 25th, 2020 is the Novice of Swords reversed. So this is potentially a frustrating week for you, Cancer. You have a lot of ideas, you have a lot of thoughts, there is a lot of mental movement. But a lot of this runs the risk of turning into doubt and stress and anxiety. It's like a downward spiral straight into all of the worst, darkest corners of your imagination. You have been doing a lot of thinking, probably, a lot of processing, a lot of learning and trying to understand things, understand people, understand different ideas. And that's been going fairly smoothly, but now you're reaching the point of struggling because you're having a hard time putting those ideas, those thoughts, and what you have learned, putting it into motion or manifesting it in the real world in your life right now. It's not showing a lot of movement in that area. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this week is the Maiden. And she gives a little bit of calming, reassuring advice that you don't need to do everything all at once, to just relax a little bit and kind of turn the focus inwards to take care of yourself, to take care of the little things, take a bath with your last bath bomb that you've been saving up. What are you saving it for? Use a face mask, go for a little walk, treat yourself to a shopping trip or a nice dinner, or a night by yourself where nobody has the opportunity to bother you, just half an hour to watch your favorite TV show. Give yourself something small, something that you wouldn't even notice on another day. Because right now you might appreciate it more than you realize. When things aren't really actively manifesting, it might be better to just be a little bit passive. You've already been doing a lot of doing. Allow yourself to be. Leo, your tarot card for the week of July 19th to 25th, 2020 is the Ace of Swords reversed. So this might be a little bit of a frustrating week for you, Leo. It really feels like an inability to just see clearly. There's a struggle with understanding what's going on, with your own path and the situations that you're dealing with, your relationships with others. Communication is totally out the window right now. You're not able to understand what they're saying. They're probably not able to understand what you're saying. And this leads to a lot of doubt, anxiety, feelings of fear, and almost a sense or sensation of dread that just sits in the pit of your stomach. You're not able to easily contact or understand, channel your intuition or your instincts, because you're not able to see things clearly in general. So you're not able to intuit what you need to do in these situations. Now, the oracle card that comes along this week is the Magician. And this is a little bit of confirmation or warning, kind of like an orange or yellow flag for you, not quite a red flag, that people just might not be as direct as they seem, especially because you're not able to see things clearly. You're only seeing what is being presented on the surface. And this Magician card, it shows a lot of illusions. It's kind of a trickster energy. So you're almost being warned about being taken advantage of, not even necessarily maliciously. People might be taking advantage of your frazzled energy, not because they see that you are frazzled and they want to grab at that or jump on that opportunity, because this doesn't always happen. More that your willingness to be there for them just keeps that channel open. So try to reinforce your boundaries a little bit this week, and especially until you're able to see things a lot more clearly and understand and process and perceive clearly what is being put in front of you or what is being presented to you. Don't make any big agreements or partnerships or deals until you are able to recognize that there is fine print or strings attached. Virgo, your tarot card for the week of July 19th to 25th, 2020 is the Elder of Swords. So this is a good week for responsibility. You are taking care of what needs to get done. Not necessarily the fun stuff. There's not really a lot of room for celebration or frivolity with this card. This is doing what needs to get done, getting it done so that it is dealt with. You are taking care of yourself. You are taking care of other people, but not everyone, only the people that are nearest and dearest to you right now. And this suggests that you're probably putting up quite a lot of boundaries between the people that are not near and dear to your heart. There might be a bit of an emotional disconnect over this week for you, especially as you are trying to get all of this done and just deal with it. Just do it. Just get through the week from point A to point B, no fuss. So you're probably muting your emotional self a little bit as much as you can. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is the Queen of Bedlam. And this is a reminder that you cannot control everything, and that's okay. Some things are always going to be out of your control. Some things are always going to be a mess. And I know, Virgo, that can be a nightmare, but this is comfort in the chaos. You are being advised to ride that wind and just let it take you where it is already taking you. You're already in movement. You are so focused this week on doing what needs to get done that you might be losing that sense of understanding that not everything is within your control. You might be fighting to force things to happen a little bit, and this Queen of Bedlam comes in to tell you that that isn't always possible. Let it go. You're getting really good at being able to control what you can control and manage what you can take care of. So focus more on that than the things that are just totally beyond your scope right now. Libra, your tarot card for the week of July 19th to 25th, 2020 is the Two of Swords reversed. So there is some growing clarity over the coming week. Some of this might be a little uncomfortable. You are identifying the root cause of any sort of negative feelings or energies or thoughts that you've been dealing with over the last little while. This is identifying what has been causing your stress, feelings of dread or worry or fear. You're able to see the root of all of this. You might even be at the point of identifying triggers for yourself, and this is helping you also to recognize what to do with all of that. How to clear it from your life or to raise the vibration if that's possible so that you can keep it in your life in a healthy way. How to make your state of being better. You're able to recognize the tools that you have at your disposal and your skills, your talents. It might not feel like very much at first, but it's probably more than you realize. And the oracle card that comes along with this is the Lady of Joy. And I mean, that's a little self-explanatory, but she comes in to remind you to feel the good things in your life. You are clearing out the negativity and the unhappiness, and that's making room in your life now for you to fill it up with this joy. So the Lady of Joy comes in and says, here, take all this goodness and feel it. And feel it. Actually process and accept these gifts that are coming into your life over this next week. You've got so much good and so much potential for good now that you're making space for it. Scorpio, your tarot card for the week of July 19th to 25th, 2020 is the Nine of Wands. You are getting so very close to achieving your goals right now and over this next week. But the really frustrating and annoying feeling that comes along with this is not being there yet. You know, you're watching it grow, you're watching things start to manifest and develop. You've done so much work, you've done basically all that you can at this point. And now all that's left is the waiting. Things need to get processed, things need to happen behind the scenes and below the surface, and you are kind of just here, sitting on your hands, waiting to be able to move forward. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this week is the Faerie of Growth. And this is a little frustrating as well, because this basically just says, be patient, it's coming. Because it is, and that's wonderful. And it's coming at like the best pace possible, organically, naturally, at its own pace. But that's, again, really frustrating because you can't really make it happen. You can't force anything into motion. And a lot of this growth is probably below the surface, behind the scenes, not clearly visible to your own vision other than what you are seeing developing to the point that, well, it's almost ready. Why can't I have it? So this Faerie of Growth comes in and just says, it's okay. Just be chill, relax, let it go, let it grow. It's coming. It will come when it's ready, and it'll be here for you as soon as it is. There's not a lot that you can do to force it to happen. So recognize your own growth at this point while you are waiting to be able to move to the next stage. Sagittarius, your tarot card for the week of July 19th to 25th, 2020 is the Six of Swords. So you are leaving some stuff behind this week. That's really good. It's very purifying. It's very cleansing and releasing and freeing. You are still most likely trying to carry a lot of your stresses with you. Not necessarily what is causing you stress, but it's like you're trying to release the causes of the stress, but you're still hanging on a little bit to the stress itself. Maybe through memories or through feelings that you're not quite ready to process or release. This is a really emotional week for you. You are moving through your feelings in your headspace. So you're processing a lot, you're thinking about a lot, and that might be a little uncomfortable, but it provides a lot of room for freedom and growth. The oracle card that comes along with this week is the Leaving. And this is pretty much confirmation of the same message, is that you are moving forward. You are leaving your past behind. You are leaving your past self behind, and you might be leaving some people behind. People who no longer need to stay in your present or don't need to be in your future. That doesn't mean that any of these experiences are less valid because they're not present experiences. They built who you are, and that person, even though you might be leaving your past self behind, your past self is being left behind so that your future self can be created. So your past self still deserves that recognition. And this Leaving card is about giving that validation and saying goodbye. This is about closure, not necessarily the running away energy that might come along with the Six of Swords, just trying to move forward and leave your past in the past and cut the ties and be done with it. The leaving is the saying goodbye so that you can have closure and be done with it in a healthy way. Capricorn, your tarot card for the week of July 19th to 25th, 2020 is the Initiate of Wands reversed. So this is frustrating because you have a lot of creativity and nothing to really do with it, nowhere for it to go. Your manifestations, your art, things aren't taking shape the way that you had imagined or the way that you had hoped or the way that you might have wanted them to. Things might be moving really slowly. Your ideas might start with a spark and then just fizzle out or go every which way so that you can't control it. It's not a very productive week, and that feels really frustrating for you. It's like you've just started to get an idea of what you can do and what you want to do, and now that you have these ideas, you don't have the ability to turn them to life. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this week is Oh No. And that's not the most reassuring card, even though it's not a predictive card. It's still not the most fun to have as advice. It's basically like almost a deal with it card. It's telling you that things aren't always gonna be good. Sorry, that's just the way life is. And this is one of those weeks where it's just gonna be one of those weeks. So you can find other things to turn your focus onto rather than what you have been focusing on. That might be a struggle in and of itself, refocusing all this energy into something completely new to distract yourself temporarily. Or you might just need to accept that things aren't going the way you want them to right now, and that's okay. Aquarius, your tarot card for the week of July 19th to 25th, 2020 is the Elder of Pentacles reversed. So there is some material imbalance over this next week for you, and that's a little bit of a struggle. You're trying so hard to take care of everyone else right now that your own needs might not be getting met. And over this next week, if that is the case, that is going to really start to impact you. This isn't just money. It can also be your time, your food from your pantry. You know, you could be giving so much away that you just have nothing left for yourself. And, you know, if you have no money when you need to pay your rent, you're in trouble. If you have no food when you need to eat, you go hungry. When you have no time, when you need to sleep, you have no energy the next day. And when that keeps building and building and building, you have nothing left to give to anybody, especially yourself. And then when somebody really, really needs you in a moment of emergency, yourself or someone else, you're not able to be there. So there's the warning of burnout, resource burnout, especially over this next week. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is the Gift. And with this, you're being advised to let someone else take care of you, especially if it is offered without your asking. Don't question it. Try not to be too proud. Just say, you know what? Yes, please. Thank you. I would really appreciate that. If someone wants to help, accept that help. You don't have to do everything alone. There's a blessing that can come this week, and it doesn't have to come just from you. So be willing to accept it. Pisces, your tarot card for the week of July 19th to 25th, 2020 is the Four of Wands reversed. So your connections, your energetic connections, the people in your life, and also how you are investing your energy, all of that is a little bit unstable right now. It might feel like there are people disappearing out of your life, or like you are losing connections with the people, your friends, family members, the people that you used to know. You don't really know them anymore. And those connections are fading or becoming a little bit less stable. As far as your goals and what you've been trying to manifest, you don't really have a solid foundation right now. So because there's not a lot to build on, anything that you're trying to actively build right now probably is just going to fall through. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this week is the Queen of the Golden Bow. And she is about responsibility. Do what needs to get done, not what is easy, not necessarily what is fun, don't do things just to make yourself miserable just because, well, it needs to get done. Don't do it to the point of driving yourself into depression, especially when you're already struggling with things not manifesting. But do what is within your realm to do. If you feel like you are losing touch with people in your life, reach out to them. You have that level of control. It doesn't have to be them reaching out to you all the time. If there is something that you can do in your immediate life, cleaning up messes, clearing out things that no longer serve, you can do that. If you can bring things in, you can do that too. You might not be able to do everything all at once, but this energy says that there are pieces that are within your control. Aries, your tarot card for the week of July 19th to 25th, 2020, is the Elemental of Wands. So you are literally in your element this week. This is fire. This is a salamander. So this is the fire element that charges the Aries sign. So have fun. You're riding it this week. You are in it. You are feeling yourself. You are driven. There is a lot of passion and creativity. So your artistic self is just thriving. You've got a lot to feed it right now. Your muse is just going and feeding you. And there is so much growth in that area. You're able to really manifest your creative self into this world. And it's huge. There is a risk of this fire element being a little bit destructive or chaotic, so try to control your passions, especially when it comes to your interactions with other people. They're not going to be as charged as you are, so it might feel to them like you are just being demanding. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this week is Tink. And this says, be demanding. People don't understand, and that's okay. They don't need to understand. They're dealing with their own stuff right now. Right now, you are thriving, and other people might be a little uncomfortable or a little jealous of that. So don't worry about them if you can help it. Worry about you. Make this about you. Right now, let it be about you. You deserve it. You deserve to have attention and to demand what you want and to get what you want. So fight for it and fuss for it, and don't settle for anything less than what is perfect to you right now. Tink says, get what you want. Put your foot down. If the boundary is, I need this or that's that, I need this and that's that, then you need it and that's that. So get it. And don't let anybody tell you that you don't deserve something or that you don't want something. Don't let anybody tell you what your wants or needs are unless they know you better than you know you. Taurus, your tarot card for the week of July 19th to 25th, 2020 is the Nine of Chalices reversed. So emotionally, this is a pretty closed off week for you. You're not letting anybody in right now. You've got a pretty solid wall up. It might have started off as a simple boundary. Now it's a thick double brick wall. There is nobody that can observe your feelings right now, and that probably started off as a safety measure. But the risk is that you are also becoming closed off to your own feelings. You've shut yourself off for safety so that it was not overwhelming, and that's fine. But the habit is to just keep putting it back on the shelf and not deal with it. And here's more, so put it back on the shelf and not deal with it, and keep adding without ever addressing or processing or experiencing your feelings. So right now, you might be dealing with a little bit of emotional backup, and there's a risk that eventually that dam is going to break. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this week is the Star Fairy. And even though you might not be actively connecting to your emotional self or to your feelings, and maybe not to your intuition because you're not able to connect to your emotions, the Star Fairy comes to give hope. That's almost all that it is. It's hope and faith and connection and a message of universal guidance that things are going to be okay. You know, you can process your feelings, you can feel your feelings, and they won't destroy you. You can do it a bit at a time. You can do it with help. You don't have to do it by yourself. If you do need to, really need to keep shelving all these feelings, you can do that too. The Star Fairy is about forgiveness, not judgment, not telling you what you need to do or what is best for you in the here and now. It's about finding what is best for you within yourself. Gemini, your tarot card for the week of July 19th to 25th, 2020 is the Ace of Pentacles. So this is an excellent week for getting things started, especially in the material world. If you are looking for work or new projects, contracts, looking at creating something really physical in this world, bringing something to life, making something grow, now is a really good time to be planting those seeds. So this is not even necessarily about planning, it's more about the doing, getting things started. Not necessarily expecting the finished project to be here in a week. If you're looking for more short-term projects, this is not the best energy for that. There's not a lot of instant gratification that comes along with this. This is more long-term, setting things in motion so that they can give you something to reap when you approach it down the road. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is the Lady of Unicorns. And she says to believe in anything and everything. You might be given an opportunity or an offer that seems totally out of this world or unreal or unrealistic. And the Lady of Unicorns says, yeah, maybe it's not always statistically expected, but who cares about statistics? And she comes in and she gives it to you anyways. So if you are being presented with some sort of opportunity that might seem too good to be true, take a second look and maybe give it a chance anyways, because there are blessings coming to you in so many ways, and this just might be one that you can actually see. At the end of my readings, I like to pull a card from my favorite manifestation deck, the Super Attractor. So I've just pulled one for everyone here to get an idea of what we should carry with ourselves throughout this week. So the card that I've got says, my greatest spiritual shifts don't come through force, they come through freedom. So to me, this is about being able to release, being accepting of whatever comes, and trusting that universe has my best intentions. And by releasing these expectations of what I think is best, I free myself from keeping myself where I have been. But let me know what this says to you down in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the week ahead. I hope that these readings have been resonant and that they can provide just a sort of helpful and relevant compass to guide you through the energies of this week. Make sure that you like the video if it resonated with you. Comment down below what stood out, what sang to your soul, what you thought of that Super Attractor card, and subscribe so that you can stay connected for more weekly readings like this one and monthly readings. If you haven't seen this month's forecast, make sure you take a look at that as well. You can also follow me on Facebook at Hedgewitch Hearthcraft. I post a daily card, kind of like these ones, just to give you an idea of what's best for us throughout the day. And that's also the best way to get in touch with me to book a reading for yourself. Thank you so much, and blessed be.